Alright guys, in this video here we're gonna practice solving for x in equation with square roots, alright? And so here we have our equation right here. It's telling us to solve for x in the equation. 3 times the square root of x plus 2 is equal to 36, alright? Solve for x. Okay, how do we do this? Well, first of all, we wanna try to eliminate everything extra because we want to get our x by itself. All right. Well, just start off with the easiest thing to do. We can divide 3 on both sides. Here, let me rewrite the equation right here. 3 times the square root of x plus 2 is equal to 36. Alright, so we have this extra 3 just hanging around here. So we want to just get rid of this 3. And we can do this by, let's just divide 3 on both sides of the equation, alright? Divide 3. Divide 3. And what do we get next? Well, we can just eliminate the 3's right here. And then we just have square root of x plus 2. And what is 36 divided by 3? 36 divided by 3 is 12. Alright? Now, how do we get rid of this square root right here? Well, remember remember how if you have x squared is equal x squared, or I'm sorry, x to the 1/2 power. Well, that's just equal to the square root of x, right? So basically, what we have here is x plus 2 to the 1/2 power. Alright, we're just rewriting things here. Equals 12, alright? And now we can just find an easy way to get rid of this 1/2. We can just square both sides of the equation. X plus 2 to the 1/2 power. So if we square that, well, remember we had to square both sides, so 12 squared also. Alright, if we square that, we can just cancel these two out, right? Because remember, if we take the power of the power to something, that's just multiplying the two exponents. And when we multiply 2 times 1 over 2, that's just 1. And anything to the first power is itself. So then, what we have here is x plus 2. We just have x plus 2 now because we just eliminated that square root. And 12 squared, that's just 144. Alright? And now, what we have here is x plus 2 equals 144. And now it's easy from here. We can just try to isolate the x by subtracting 2 on both sides. Alright, subtract 2, subtract 2. And then our final answer, we have x is equal to 142. Alright, that's our final answer right here in this equation. Okay? And this is a relatively simple problem, but let's try something else now. Let's try going a little harder. So erase all this stuff. Alright, we have x is 142. Alright, this is being a little slow on me right now, so just you can skip the video a little bit to, Come on. Why is it being so slow on me? Alright, now let's now it's finally done. Alright, now let's get into a harder problem. What if we had that same problem? What if we had 3 to the square root of x plus 2? What if we had 3 to the square root of x plus 2, but instead we had 3x. What if we had this instead? Alright, 3x plus 6. Alright? Well, now this is a little harder, okay? But let's try to go through this, alright? Well, we can divide 3 on both sides. Remember that? We're trying to get rid of this 3, alright? So divide 3. Divide 3. Alright, and if we divide 3 over here, Well, 3x is just 3 times x, so we can cancel out this 3 right here. And then 6, well, that's just 3 times 2, alright? So what we have finally is x plus 2 is equal to, alright, because we just eliminated this 3, is equal to the square root of x plus 2. Now this is a little more complicated, alright? Remember, we can square both sides of the equation, so x plus 2 is equal to, alright, remember when we square this right here, alright, we have to do x plus 2 times x plus 2, alright? We can't just multiply it by 2. Alright, so then we just FOIL out everything here. Remember the FOIL video? It's x squared plus 2x plus 2x plus 4 is equal to x plus 2. Alright? We add these two, that's 4x plus 4 plus x squared, you know, we're just flying through this right now, equals x plus 2. Alright, we subtract 2 on both sides, take this 2, then this turns into a 2 right here. Equals x. Alright, now we subtract x, regular x, on both sides. So then what we have here is 0 now, because we just eliminated all the terms. Plus 3x, so we just subtracted both sides. Alright, and now all we have to do is just factor this out. All we have to do is factor this out to find our equation. Alright. So x plus 3x plus 2. Alright, well, we do our little, we have 2 right here, right? 2, and let's find 2 factors of 2 that add up to 3x, alright? Well, that's pretty simple. What we know, the factors of 2 are 1 and 2, because 2 is a prime number. And guess what? 2 plus 1 is 3. Alright, well, we can do that. So we have x well, our 2 factors are 2. Our second factor is 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. And, alright, and so to find, and we have to remember that it equals 0, alright? Because the 0 right here. Alright, and to find the solution, well, guess what? When x is negative 2, the whole thing will equal 0, because when it's negative 2 right here, negative 2 plus 2 is 0. Anything times 0 is 0. So our first solution is negative 2. Our second solution is negative 1, because negative 1 plus 1 is 0. Anything times 0 is 0. So negative 1 is our second solution. And this is our solution set to the more complicated problem right here, right? So remember, if you have x on both sides and there's a square root of x, so plus something or times something, just remember that, you know, you're going to have to use factoring, and you're going to have to, you know, manipulate it to do something, all right? And that's how you solve for x in an equation with a square root.